everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the picturesque city of Denver, Colorado. Tonight we close out Week 7 with a good Monday night matchup between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And right away, he lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. Second down here.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The reigning Super Bowl MVP, Von Miller, from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now it's Miller. Stays on his feet. And he's got some space here. It'll be a gain of 11. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. So the pickup there for Lamar Miller, and he actually shredded his current team last year when he played against them. 175 yards, another 61 in the air, and 2 touchdowns.
I guess that's a classic example of if you can't stop him, go get him, put him on your team. Lamar Miller, big-time pickup for the Texans.
He's got the completion to Strong. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage.
Let's go!
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
False start, offense. Still first down.
And here is motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense. Still first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
On second down, here's Miller. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense. Still 3rd down.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. So the D-line's going to spread out. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense. Still 3rd down.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun, surveying the field. Look at the time. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now it's the Chiefs' all-time leading rusher. It's Jamal Charles on the carry. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. J.J. Watt there on the tackle for a loss. Of course, last year's Defensive Player of the Year.
And we love saying his name, don't we? J.J. Watt. How about all that production, too? 29 tackles for loss in 2015.
And second place only at 23. On the run, it's Charles. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. 3rd and long, it's Simeon. And complete into the hands of Fowler.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Roughing the pass here, but Charles, that's a good call. But these days, you know, quarterbacks, they're very protective.
We know how protected they are, and if it's anything borderline, they're going to get the call. But as a defender, that's hard to swallow sometimes because there's so many of these bang-bang plays.
Following the penalty, here's Charles. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Brian Cushing, the linebacker, in on the tackle. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
C.J. Anderson may not be a Pro Bowl runner, but he knows how to run big in big games.
Yeah, he sort of sealed the Super Bowl for them in the 4th quarter. Big game against the Patriots last year on a Monday night, but only 720 yards all told in 2015. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Here we go now.
The first carry for the rookie Devontae Booker, working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, Jamal Charles uses the stiff arm. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Play clock winding down. Booker on first down. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. The motion man is Fowler. And now with the play clock becoming an issue here, Gary Kubiak is going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
Here we go.
Simeon's going to keep it. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good, solid game there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
Let's go.
Second and goal. Defense dig. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Andy Janovich, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in college, the Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Second down following the run. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Finding time. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Let's go.
Still 2nd down.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Caught by Mumphrey. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Miller, the lone setback. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start. Offense. Still 2nd down.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start. Offense. Still 3rd down.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. And here's motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start. Offense.
it's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense. Still third down.
Third down, 15 yards still needed. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Looking into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field. That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks you want.
You want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
The motion man is Fowler. They'll keep it on the ground, this time with Charles. Cuts it out here, left sideline. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think and run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
They come out here in the eye.
Here we go now.
Thomas, the man in motion left. Here's Charles. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Charles, the lone setback. Simeon. Hard throw, incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
That's taken on the 25. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Texans take possession. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And that's a guy, Lamar Miller, from Miami, went to the University of Miami, was playing for the Dolphins, but now moved to the Lone Star State.
Yeah, how about that? And sometimes that change of scenery, it may look like it's going to affect him adversely. He's away from his home for the first time ever. But sometimes you get out on your own somewhere else, that can increase your performance. You only focus on your football.
Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Second down, 9 yards to go. And here is motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. And here's motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
So now the offense is facing a 1st down and 20 after that last mistake. Tenth carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
False start, offense.
This is the running back, Blue. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
They run with Blue. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
That was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator to do? Check your playlist.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
So 2nd and 10 here. On the carry, this is Blue. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Out of the gun now on third down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead. So a tiptoe catch back.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. That time, a 9-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. To throw on second is Simeon. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Now Anderson across the 30. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. Now it's Simeon. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They come out here in the eye. Now Thomas will come in motion right. Charles. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Well, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Simeon. And he's got it. Complete to Fowler. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. Here's Simeon. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 5 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Broncos defense getting ready to go. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Yeah, see if they can play a little bit better on this drive. Fresh set of downs here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Miller, he's got some breathing room. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. So a very tight first. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A first down carry here for Charles. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On second down, here's Simeon. It's complete to Brown, right side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense.
Let's go!
Simeon. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Here's Simeon. Incomplete into the hands of Fowler. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Here we go now.
From the red zone now, Simeon. That's complete right around the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
They'll look to throw. He's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them up.
Will be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Derek Wolfe able to drop him for a loss of 4. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You're talking about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4... you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a 1st down.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
They run. Anderson. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. To throw on 2nd is Simeon. And he's got it complete to Fowler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now.
Handoff comes to Anderson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play.
Let's go.
His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. To throw is Simeon. And Fowler's got it. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a 1st down.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Simeon now to throw. Got him in. He finds Sanders. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the 1st.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Detroit! Let's go!
10th carry now for Anderson. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, Anderson. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Simeon. Sanders has it over the middle. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They give it to Anderson. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 10th carry now for Jamal Charles. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the down. Offense.
And this seemingly endless drive continues. Here's Simeon now on second down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Benny Fowler, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
Brandon, what we just saw there were two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Now McManus for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. Room here to run. And he finally goes out of bounds, so he couldn't take it the distance, but all the way inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
They'll run. This is Blue. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Alfred Blue, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the result, a Houston touchdown. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. The Texans defense, we watch them get set to go. They've had a couple passing touchdowns against them in this game, and that last drive they really got picked apart.
They've got to figure out how to tighten things up because no matter what they've done, whatever adjustments they've made, offense has been a step ahead of them. So they've got to figure it out. Usually, a sack of the quarterback can help change the momentum.
Maybe bring some pressure.
I think maybe a little bit of pressure would help them greatly.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 2nd down, here's Simeon. And that's complete to Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he's shown us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they wanted to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started, and in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have the lead.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Let's go.
Now a run with Anderson. And some room to work. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they're going to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
Time running out here on the play clock. A run here with Pierce. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play. They're holding to no gain.
Incomplete into the hands of Fowler. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Broncos are going to have a new set of downs.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Here we go now.
First and goal here from the 2. They'll let Charles try and get him in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
2nd down, the ball on the 2 here, 2nd and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Juwan Thompson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the defensive unit now for the Broncos as they get set here. They struggled that last drive. They were kind of hit 2 ways, both with the run and the pass.
And I love how you brought hit into it because a lot of defense coordinators like to show a little cut-up film the night before a game. They usually have some boxing in there, and it always shows the guy being the aggressor, the guy on his toes punching, not back on his heels taking punches, and that's where this defense was on the last possession.
They were on their heels. Will they be on their heels again? Let's see.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finding time. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
On third down, Miller. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Complete to Mumphrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Underneath for Miller. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Let's go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got him over the middle. Fedorowicz. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards on the pickup. And the Texans are going to have a first. And now they're in the hurry-up. Back to throw now on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. And they're going to go soft on the corners. He'll look to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 3rd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and then get that onside kick. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play,
Novak to tack on the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And the Broncos are able to recover, and that should just about wrap this one up. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Again, it's Charles. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Following the penalty, here's Charles. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go!
It'll be Charles again. He has been the workhorse tonight. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. 9 yards to go. It's 3rd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now Simeon, and he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Benny Fowler, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Miller, the lone setback. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And they'll get the spike off with 6 seconds to go. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this.
Hello. My name is Kamal. I am from the clouds. I'm a human now, but I used to be a raindrop. Word up. I'm really good at putting words up. I make them levitate and circle with the birds. I don't need to force it. I let it occur. Whatever occurs. Thank you. Feel like I was touched by an angel. Once again, a whole nother angle. I got a lot of holes in my ankle. I got a lot of love and a whole lot of ignorance, and that's a good thing if you want to relate. I'm just trying 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 to relate. Presence. Now. Presence. Come out. It's come out like a power within him. I get down like gravity, rackety rappers and raps rapidly follow the rapid into the rapids of being rapping and rattling, rapping riddles and rivets into the sky. I'm a rebel, feeling rhythmically right and vigorous, running right to the rhythm, widow to side eye. I am the killer in the grasses. I am the kid in the corner with the glasses. I am the specter, you should respect her. I don't expect the special, ain't special. I don't expect nothing. I'm just really glad I can say something. That's a blessing. Ain't no stress affecting my presence. But sometimes the pressure keep pressing. Worst keeps my impression impressed. That's the way to relate. I'm just trying to relate. I'm just trying to relate.